Hi guys, how are you doing? Monday morning, been quite productive the last couple of days. Try to take advantage from the opportunities of having a bit more free time. Being ill was not great, but at least I got some time to recover and therefore also to record a bit more stuff. Also moving forward with the battle report, I needed to record from Munich. So yeah, as always in life, you try to take advantage from from the opportunities that are in front of you, and you just have to accept stuff that you can't control, even if it annoys you. And it's something I try to apply since not that long ago, a couple of years surely, but basically try to let go stuff that are frustrating, where I don't have any influence on. So there is basically for me this space where you can have an impact, you can have an influence, you can change stuff, then you should put your energy there. But stuff from life, I mean, like, for example, stupid example, but getting ill, it's frustrating, but I mean, it's going to change nothing if I'm angry about it, if I'm frustrated about it, if I react bad about it. Going to change nothing. I'm going to be ill as long as if I take it in a good way. So basically there is no way into putting an argument and a temper. So yeah, that's something I try to do usually in life, generally speaking. Applies very often to work. You might have work situation where you are in a situation that's very frustrating for you. Just try always to think about, can you have an impact, can you influence, can you change it or not? And it's just a situation and you can't do anything about it, then don't get mad about it. Let it go, focus on other stuff where you can really have an impact and change stuff. I think that's a good way to go about things in life. At least it's less frustrating, and you don't bother yourself too much for stuff that, one, don't really matter, and two, why bother if you can't do anything about it? I mean, just going to frustrate you and you're going to live a less enjoyable life. Anyway, that was it for the intro. Was quite spontaneous, but might be a good advice for you. At least I enjoy my life more since I'm applying that, and I don't get frustrated anymore for little things where I have no impact on. So topic for today was actually a question asked from one of you guys. Thanks a lot for the questions, by the way, and the reaction in the comment. This brings me inspiration for future talk and walk, and I need inspiration sometimes. Somebody asked me in my video, I hope you enjoyed it, the journey from garage player to ETC player, basically. He asked me, can you go to tournament with off meta list, or do you need to bring meta list and it's just like meta or die? And I think it's a valid question that you might ask yourself, especially as a less experienced player. Can I go to a tournament with something that's unusual, or I will just be killed, basically? Definitely you can go with original list, and you should go with your own ideas and taste. And I mean, worst case, it might go wrong. Okay, not so bad, it's just a tournament. You lose a couple of games, I mean, shouldn't be too frustrating. Obviously, taking a list that is unusual can be a strength, but it's all obviously going to be a risk. And you can see that at a very high level. ETC level, take the example, the critique I've been making towards last year a Teams Poland list. And they ended up winning it with lists that I found, some of them I was very I had a lot of points where I mentioned I found that could be improved, was not the best list and so on. And they ended up winning ETC. And at the end, the winner has the right, has right. So I think definitely you can bring off meta list. And what's really meta? Obviously there are strong choices, there are bad choices in book. There are, I think, some box that you need to tick to have in order to have a strong enough list or a valid list. I don't know how to formulate it, but Basically what I want to say is, in order to have a list that's effective under the rule set of Season Pack 2, you need to tick some boxes. So let's try to go through them. Maybe that might be the first base. And I think once you have ticked those boxes, you basically have met the requirement to have a list that's competitive. I think that would be the right word. Then you can be very flexible about what you bring. First point, you need also to differentiate between, I think, ETC, which is very special event, comparison to the rest of the season. Maybe there is also more at stake at ETC, so I think the choice might be also a bit different for that. But like I mentioned before, you can also be very original at ETC and it might work very well for you. Didn't think about it, but I will try to do it spontaneously. Maybe you might complement my points in the commentary section. Season Pack 2. We observe multiple primary where you need dynamism from your scoring. I've been mentioning that multiple times. Dynamic scoring unit is the key word under Season Pack 2. You need some of those. You need enough scorings. Those are kind of some basic criteria that you need to meet to have a decent list. So that might be for me the first point. You need to think about it. How many scoring units you need? Minimum amount is probably around 4 or 5. I would say so. 5 start to feel more comfortable. 4 might be a bit slim. 6 bit better. And there are some MSU lists that go towards 8, 9, 10. And I think here sky is a bit the limit at the moment with scoring unit because you don't have much downside for playing too many scoring units. It's going to be helpful on most objectives. So in which case you have a downside by playing too many scoring units. All the ground, better to have more than not enough. Breakthrough, better to have too much than not enough. Secure target, the same. Divide and Conquer, the same. What did I miss? All the center, I talked about it. Sorry, I'm a bit blurry today because it's still hill, so it's hard to think clearly. Trophies of War, I forgot. Trophies of War, now in the last version, you need to kill stuff with scoring units, but not necessarily scoring or not scoring. So there is no downside actually having too many scoring units. You have more way to pick up the trophies. So actually might be better as well. So, and I missed one. Skull of Arad Red Stab. Again, having too many scoring units, rather good, you can go to more train. So actually, the 6th primary, you have no downside having too many scoring units. So sky is the limit. Scoring unit wise, I would start at 5. I think it's a good number. Some players can play with 3 or 4, depends on your style. But if you want to be on the safe side and be able to play all of them in a good way, the right number might be about 5 or 6. And you can go up to 10 if you want to, or more, as much as you can field. Some lists are crazy with scoring units. Out of those scoring units, if you have like 10, the dynamism aspect of the scoring unit is going to matter less, because as much scoring unit you have, if you have like 10, you are going to overwhelm the board, overload the board with so many scoring units, then the speed of those scoring units is mattering less. The less you have, the more the keyword dynamic is going to matter for your ability to play stuff like Divide and Conquer or even Breakthrough. Or yeah, I think Divide and Conquer is the one that comes more to mind. But yeah, might be also Skull of Arad Red Stab with the movement. But anyway, I think, yeah, some of those scoring units, if you have like 5, 6, I've personally identified myself that it's quite good to have at least 1, 2 of those quite dynamic that can move fast forward. I think that's one of the criteria. But if you have like 10, I mean, like Empire list, they are like swarming all the table with full scoring. The Dwarf the same. The speed of the scoring matters less. So I think the dynamism of the scoring matters less. If the table is just full of your scorings, then you're going to be fine no matter what to play the primary. So I think that's the first criteria. Make sure that you have that in your list. And then, I mean, to have a decent concept, you need to figure out first what you like. Do you like the games what type of game do you like? Do you like very engaged game with a lot of combat? Then you might as well bring a combat list that is going to have, and if you look back at my presentations at the beginning of my presentation file, the presentation slide at the beginning of the battle report, sorry, I'm always showing path to victory. And do you want your path to victory to be combat? You want to go in combat and have those type of battle as many as possible? Do you like more control, range damage? What do you like, basically? I think you need to figure that out. It's also going to help you, first of all, pick an army if you haven't, and then pick also the type of list that you might want to play. Because it will be frustrating for you to bring a shooty list if you like combat, you know, and they have a lot of battle with no combat at all. So try also to bring what you like, because that's where you're also going to have fun and enjoy and thrive also with. And then have a look at the book, have a look at what you like. What I'm not saying is you shouldn't ignore what other people do, but I've been seeing this tendency, and a bit too much in the French-speaking community, to sometimes just copy-paste the list of good players, just thinking, okay, he did 80 points at this tournament, let's copy-paste the list, and just play it for months without thinking what you could change. It can happen. I've been myself last year also copying a list at the moment. I think you can inspire yourself from a list. If you think a list is very strong, it might be worth it to just copy-paste it for a game, play with it like 2-3 games, get a feeling. But then you should start to think, how am I going to tailor-made it? Should I change something? Is it perfect this way? Try to make it your own list, basically. And change some little stuff to make sure that you get exactly what you want out of the list. And that was a bit my process with Inferno-Dwarfs last year with the infantry list that I picked after quite late in the year. I played Ogre Khan for a long time, then I didn't find out what I wanted to play really. And then this Inferno-Dwarfs list came out in the French community, played with it, changed a couple of things to make it good to my taste, and then went with it. But I think don't be also lazy to try out to change a bit the list of star player. It's a good place to start with if you don't have ideas, list building wise, you don't want to come to something completely new. Not everybody enjoys the list building process. So if you want to start with a base that's safe, I mean, sure, picking a list that has been working well for very good player is going to give you more certitude, more certainty than going with a fully random list. So that's going to, it could be a way, if you are quite new to the game, to eliminate the factor of the list. Like, okay, it might be the list that's shitty, I want to know if it's the list or if it's me, so I just take a strong list, I play it, and I will see how that goes. It could be a good way, it could be a good way to learn, but I think you should tailor-made it to your taste. It's not because a player makes a lot of points with a list that is going to be the meta list and it's the strongest of the book and it's absolutely the list to take. I strongly believe that there are choices that fits better a certain player than other choices. And I think you should also follow that, at least try to question it, try multiple alternatives before you really figure out what's best for you. And that's what matters the most. What's best for you, what do you enjoy the most playing, what do you get good feeling with. There are particular units where you don't know why, but for a reason you get bad feeling, you can't play them well, and other player can play them well. That's the way it goes. So I would say my advice for you would be, feel free to bring what you enjoy. That's very important, but at the same time, also make sure that you tick some boxes, that your list is solid enough, it's good enough, because if you just bring a weak list, then I'm not sure you're going to enjoy your tournament very much. Nothing is out of question in the books. Even weaker entry can find their place in your list and you might play a tournament with it and enjoy it a lot. The problem you might have is if you pick everything that's weak in a book, then your list might be a bit weaker to the opposition. That's the problem you might have. But if you take some risk, that's what might happen. But like I said, it's not the end of the world if you go bad at a tournament, then you might realize, okay, it was a bad idea. But like always, what I would do if I were you before going to any tournament, don't send a list that you just build on paper. At least play one game on the table with it, because the table speaks and is going to tell you if the choice, because very often you have choice on paper, theory hammer, right? Every of us is doing that regularly, talking about list, talking way more than we play. That's part of the game, and we enjoy it, I think. At least I do. But yeah, from time to time, then put the list on the table, and especially before going to a tournament. Put it on the table and see how it goes. See how you feel about the list, about the choice you make. And you might realize, okay, I thought that was good, actually it's crap. I'm liking this, I don't like that, and so on. So that would be my advice for you. Yeah, that was a long answer to a short question, but I was pretty happy to get that question because I think it provides some insight on this list building process, and actually don't be afraid of the freedom you have. Especially now, we just had an update, we're going to get a new one in March. Feel free to try what you think. Obviously follow what's happening on your recruit, might give you some hints, what the top player picks, might give you a direction where to look at, and stuff you should maybe try, because it might be good, all right? So take advantage from that database, but at the same time, feel free to try what you want. And if you like something, I've been a good example of that, because I've been enjoying a lot. A couple of years ago, I've been playing with the Great Bull of Shamut. It's probably my favorite model in the Infinite Dwarfs book. Absolutely love it. Love the model on the table as well. But it's not that competitive. And I've been playing some tournament with it a couple of years ago. Some solo event where it did matter less. In team tournament, it's a bit different, because I don't want to bring something that's bad and could penalize or make harder for my teammate, because this is going to have an impact on the pairing matrix and so on. But yeah, there are some solo tournaments where you can bring those kind of stuff and just have a max fun, and then you say it's going to go the way it goes, and I might have done a bit better with better lists. But it's also cool to enjoy and bring the model you enjoy the most. Anyway, that's going to be my conclusion. Hope you like this little podcast. I wish you a very nice day. Here it's shiny again, but a bit cold. I hope I'm going to recover from my illness soon, because I want to train again. Missing the training, missing the routine, but I'm soon it will go fast, better. I wish you a very good day, and talk to you soon on the channel. Goodbye, take care.